Hey guys, what's up? Stephanie, the English coach here from EnglishFulltime.com. Today I'm here with one of my students, Long, who recently joined my course, Connect and Communicate, and we're going to talk about his recent success with his English, what he was struggling with before, why he joined the course, and how he's doing now. So, hi Long, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Stephanie.
So before we begin, could you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you live, how long you've been there, that kind of thing?
Okay, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Long Nguyen. I'm from Vietnam originally, but I've been in the States for about 20 years. And I'm currently working at University of Houston in IT field. And outside of my 9 to 5 jobs, I also have started building a business. And I have a business partner who is brilliant in market, in digital marketing. She's really great with communication, and I let her handle all the communication with clients and dealing with them. But she said, keep telling me that, hey, you need to work on your communication skill because one day you're gonna run this business or company on your own. So you need to step
Mhm.
it up and improve the skill while you have me. Take all the time you need to work on your skill.
Yeah, so basically you've been living in the US for, I think you said over 20 years, right? Or about 20 years?
Yes.
And I think people are going to find that really interesting because a lot of times they think that, oh, if you've been living in the USA for that long, you're not going to need help with your English. By that time, you should be fluent, confident, fine, etc. So, what can you tell people that kind of think that way and think like, oh, once you live in the US, your English is going to be fine and perfect and you're not going to have to worry about it anymore?
That's true, but it's also based on your personality. My personality is like a kind of shy, quiet guy. You never like I try to avoid dealing with people. But when you're in a different position where you run your own business, you have to deal with clients constantly. How to make clients like you and offer you the job or the business opportunity. So I'm in a different position where I have to put myself out and to deal with people issues.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you found me online. First of all, do you remember how you found me? Was it on Facebook or YouTube?
I think I saw a couple of your videos popping up on my new feed. I think I saw one video that you would interview one of the software engineering from Brazil or
Oh
some
no, it
South
was yeah,
Africa,
Renee from Ecuador. That's a really popular
Ecuador.
video. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Um, and you talk to him, and I can see how confident he is, even though his English is not that great. But you can see that he can have a conversation, and then he said that within a very short period of time, that he was able to get the confidence to get in front of conference and speak to 1,000 people. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, okay, let me see what Stephanie had to offer. So I
Yeah.
joined your mailing list. Okay, so that's it. I just joined your mailing list, and then
Yeah, then I announced the course, and then I think you
yes,
were one of the
mm-hmm,
first students to join. And so, yeah, that's
exactly,
basically exactly what happened with Renee and what has happened with so many students that I work with. Because at the end of the day, language skills take a lot of time to develop. But as you've learned, confidence shifts, they happen in our mind and they can happen instantly. It really all depends on your perspective, how you see yourself, how you see those around you. So thanks for sharing all of that. And what I would love to do now is just really start talking about the changes you've been experiencing because we've done a couple coaching calls together and like the things that you shared with me completely blew me away. I was just like, oh my gosh, you did what? So talk to us a little bit about the changes you've been experiencing in the last month and a half because you're still in the middle of this course. Like that's the crazy
yes,
thing. You're not even finished. You're not close to finished. You're halfway through and yet you've already been having these amazing results. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening.
sure. So when I first saw your email about connect and communicate, and you can be, and then you a little bit introduction about how I can improve my communication. I'm like, that's it. You know, you just hit the nail right then for me because I'm like, because I need to work on my communication skill,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure that I can invest time and money on this course that help me better myself, professionally.
Yeah, I think you were
And
the first one
yes,
to jump on that. So we talked right away, like as soon as you joined.
exactly. I'm like, hey, I need to get it going because I have so many things coming up to me. So I need to talk to Stephanie as fast as I can so I can improve my skill and be able to practice with my clients immediately. So that's how I do it. So I
Hmm.
think when I first talked to you, I was kind of really nervous, I think. And then you asked me, was you nervous when talking to you? And I said, yes, I was very nervous talking to a native speaker. But
Even
I
though you
turned,
live in the US and you speak with native speakers on a daily basis, right? Sometimes there's just like this lack of confidence that we carry around, and it's this huge burden. And I know because, as you know, I learned Spanish and I dealt with this myself. So I'm bringing all of that experience to really show you guys how to overcome this. And Long, you started working on these things immediately. You started connecting with people immediately. You started interacting in our private Facebook group and just sharing progress in your results. So what are some things you've been able to do now that a month and a half ago you just weren't able to do?
first, I would think changing my mindset. Like my way of thinking was all wrong. Like always doubt myself, like not confident, always worry about, okay, gosh, I'm going to make a mistake. People are not going to value my idea if I make a mistake. Constantly worry about myself and then put negative, all the negative talk into myself instead of
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, you're an expert in your field. You have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of ideas to share. You are confident just like everybody. You are even more to some people that they don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. You were really putting yourself down and your expertise down and basically letting the people around you dictate how you feel, that day at work, rather than owning your expertise and saying, yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
expert. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm here to share my ideas and change the world.
exactly. Instead of prepare myself to do that, my mind was all worried about, oh my God, I'm going to make a mistake. Oh, it's going to be my turn. What I'm going to say next.
Okay, so what about now? Like, do you still deal with that? Do you still have those?
No,
Not at all.
not at all. After you talk to you, I turn the table.
Wow.
I am an expert. I have more confidence now. My mind is clear because all this worry is out the door because I don't need to worry
Yeah.
about all that nonsense. Yeah, can I just focus on what I know and what I know is best and try to communicate that across to my audience.
Yeah. I just think that is so fascinating because this is a burden that you've been carrying around for 20 years. Ever since you came to the States and have been living there, even though you've lived there for so many years and you interact with native speakers on a daily basis, constantly, I can't imagine constantly living with like a debilitating fear like that for decades. So
Hmm.
obviously, as the coach, it makes me so happy to see you and the other students have results like this and really take the things that I say to heart, because it's like I see you guys there struggling and I'm like, no, I don't want you to struggle. I want you guys to be confident because I see so much in you. I see your potential, your intelligence, everything. And sometimes you need someone to believe in you first, and it helps you believe in yourself, right?
That's
So
right.
you told me a couple things in our last call. I think two things. One, you stopped a guy on the street, photographer, and ended up having a great conversation with him. And then also you went to some kind of like teacher conference at your son's school and talked with the teachers. And basically what you emphasized was these are all things you never would have done in the past. So talk to us about those experiences.
Yes, that's right. Like I say, I'm a shy person, so I avoid, contact with human, other people on the street. I'm just like, oh, no eye contact. Walk away, keep walking.
Don't talk to anybody.
Yes, exactly. So I feel awkward, when I have to talk to people because I don't know what to do. I'm not a good conversationist, I would say. So I think after I took your course, there's a couple of homework assignment that give me the inspiration to go do it. You go after those people whenever I have a chance. So I met a photographer who tried to take some picture for clients and just come and be very genuine and very engaged, interested in what he's doing. And I asked him, hey, are you a photographer professionally? And he said, yes. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a new camera just like you have, but I have no idea how to work this thing. Maybe you can give me a few tips on how to use this device, this new camera that I have. And he said, sure, why not? And I get his business card if he have. And I tried to follow up with him like immediately. First, he's like, who is this guy? He didn't want to respond to me.
He didn't remember you.
Yeah, he didn't remember me. And I was like, I called him one and he was like having a dinner time. And I told him, oh, it's not a good time. So how about I'll call you back and we set a time. And he did. He said, hey, call me back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I did. So at 10 o'clock, I text him instead of calling this time. I text him and say, hey, we have an appointment at 10 o'clock. Is it a good time? Is it still a good time? And I didn't hear from him like an hour later. I didn't give it up. I text him again. And I say, I'm sure you are really busy, but I just have this one question, how to use this camera. Please give me a call back when you have time. Immediately, he called me back. And then we just like talking on the phone. I talk about him, where he's from. He actually running the business and try to get as many clients as he can. And then he showed me how to work a camera. So we would FaceTime just like you and I FaceTime with each other, and he showed me how to work the camera perfectly.
That's awesome. So this is basically a guy that you met on the street. You used strategies that you learned in the course to approach him and to get him to talk with you. And that's actually one of the trainings that we have. It's specifically called How to Get People to Talk with You. You got him to talk with you. You were persistent. You didn't give up. And then you ended up forming this pretty cool relationship with someone. And then you found things that you have in common. You're both starting a business or both in business. You're both trying to get clients. And that probably gave you even more to talk about.
Right. The other day I was texting him and say, hey, how's it going? And he's like, how the business going? I'm like, yeah, I just have 2 new projects coming in. And he said, wow, I'm pretty sure you're very busy with this. I'm like, yeah.
That's so cool. So you still keep in touch. It all started with a stranger that you decided to take the initiative and approach on the street. And you never used to be able to do something like that before.
No, I would just like ignore people. I just ignore people. I would rather work with the computer than the people. But it's completely different now. Now that I run a business, I have to deal with people on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So
but at the same time, it probably feels really good, right? Like knowing that you're transforming into this different person who doesn't have, issues talking with other people. And you're just like, oh yeah, I can talk with whoever. That's not even a problem for me. I bet that feels really good.
It is. It's opened so many doors, many opportunities, because I learned so much from talking to these people. They have really good networking. I can get into their network and learn what other people are learning, their experience, all the lessons that they struggle with, they'll share with me.
That is so cool. And then really quick, Long, why don't you tell us also about the story talking with your son's teacher, I believe, because that was also a really interesting story.
Oh, okay. So I think I went to an event where one of the teachers at, I think, middle school to high school, because my kid is in the kindergarten, so he doesn't need middle school and high school yet. But I still come up to her and show the interest that I want to know about her school system and what do they have to offer for my kid.
For the future.
For the future, yes. When he turned to 6th grade, that's when they're accepting students at 6th grade. We just have a good time. She's like, talk to me all this interest idea or plan, all the program and support that the school offer for students. Like this school is only have student with because I know I read it somewhere, this school prepares students to go to college 100%, because everyone that went to that school, they all end up in college, in some sort of college or university. And a lot of these kids are under disadvantaged kids who family doesn't have a lot of money. A lot of them are Hispanics and African American, but they all very successfully entering the college. But how did they do that? So with the school support, the school will give you financial to take those SAT
Hmm.
courses, because parents probably doesn't have the money to support this kid to go to take those advanced placement tests, SAT, to enter colleges. But this
Hmm.
school, take all this away. They give the scholarship for students. I think they pay them twice a month throughout the high school to take those SAT tests. So if you didn't pass the second time, you have to pay on your own, out of your pocket. But
Hmm.
if you have not, then they'll keep on you. I think they pay them 2 times to make sure
Yeah.
you pass your test.
It's funny because you sound like an expert now on this school, the program, what they offer. And this is because you talked with these people for how long?
I think I talked to her like an hour, for one
Hmm.
hour, and then I come back for another hour to talk about something else, totally different. We talk
Yeah.
about history, talk about LinkedIn, how to recruit people, and totally different thing. The first section was all about school for my kid. The second section is more building
Yeah.
relationship. I want to learn more about what she does and what she does for networking and what she used that effectively to connect with other people. Basically, she would say, "Oh, LinkedIn was my number one tool to connect to people who want to
Hmm.
work for her school."
Oh, so she was basically like the principal of the school or one of the leaders,
She was the program,
coordinator?
yes, coordinator or program developer.
So I just want to point out again, because when you told me this originally, I was like, you talked for how long? With who? What? A stranger? Because I
Mm-hmm.
knew your struggles previously. So basically, you talked with this stranger for 2 hours, and some people are hearing that going, oh my gosh, I can't even talk to my family members for 30 minutes. Like some people just are not talkers, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you used to not be a talker yourself, right? But
Right.
again, you learned these strategies like how to maintain a conversation, how to get people to talk with you, how to talk with them. And now it's just completely opening up new opportunities. And again, you're just learning that this is the best way to move your life forward and to learn new things. This is something that I learned a long time ago, connecting with people, talking with them directly, asking questions. It is the best way to get information. And
Yeah.
once you learn these strategies and the psychology behind all of this, because so many people, they're just focused on, oh, I want to learn a language, but nobody's thinking about how to use that language strategically to get the things that they want in life. Because, we're not just using a language, we're using it with other people. So you have to think about the other person's perspective and how to position things so that they will help you move forward and get what you want. Because if not, we just get into problems with communication and we have miscommunication, So anyhow, I guess just to wrap it up here, like what are some final thoughts that you would like to share? Would you recommend this course to other people? If so, why? And what kind of person do you think would really benefit from it?
Yes, I would definitely recommend this course to everyone, because definitely have a lot of lesson. All her lesson is really valuable and it's fun to watch. And I watched them several times, not just one, because Stephanie is a kind of person, it's very friendly and very supportive. And it's not like my business partner. She's like always, it's like, oh, you need to get work on this. Instead of very supportive, she's just nagging about it. But
Mm-hmm.
you are different. You unlock so many doors to me. Like my you went to my head and clean up all the mess in my head.
That's a
Really,
really great analogy. Thank you.
exactly, like clean house, because I don't have to all worry about this worry anymore.
That is so awesome to hear. I'm so glad, and I cannot wait to see where you are with your life, your confidence, your business, everything a year from now.
Sure, I'll keep you updated.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much,
much.
Stephanie.
Yeah, and thank you for doing this interview with me. I am just so excited to hear about what you're doing with this material.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.